All right, all right. Peace, peace. Welcome,
Peace.
welcome to the first edition of the Piercing the Veil, Beyond the Veil podcast, featuring your hosts and co-hosts, Jay Drews, Mr. Aaron Sims, CEO.
Since multimedia. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Yes, peace, peace. How's everyone doing? Awesome, awesome. So, uh, piercing the veil. Let's talk about this concept. We've been building up to this point for about what, 2, 3 years?
About 2 or 3 years, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Conversating, you know, both dabbling in other podcasts and things like that, just to come together when the time is
absolutely.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about a little bit about what you've been doing with the sports, football.
Right. Man, I've been, since multimedia, we cover a vast variety of media things, but being in Canton, Ohio, there's so much going on with football. The USFL championships. We got the women's All Star game and championship tomorrow here. The women's Super Bowl is actually in Canton this year. The Hall of Fame game coming up. The Raiders versus I believe it's against the Jaguars. It's going to be a good game. A good class coming in. I'm just happy to be a part of everything, and being down on that field, that harvesting the car energy is real. I felt the energy, felt good, and hey, had to sleep for 2 days, but it was lovely.
I feel that. Yeah, pardon me. My voice is a little under the weather. Just my voice, not my body. But yeah, doing a build the other night, about 9, 10 hours long.
Yeah.
um, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So um, yeah, I've been involved with. My brothers here from the Schwabel Room.
All
Schwabel
right.
Room. We've been doing the 3 p.m.D. featuring Jay Drew's podcast. They were gracious enough to add me as a personality, um, a fact checker, opinion man, and
Right.
I'm so grateful to be included with those brothers and what they've been doing and what they've built. Um, so I was excited to be a part of that, and in the meantime, I've been creating music and taking care of my family, like you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Family is most important. Um, and so, we talked a few years ago about doing the podcast, dealing with more of the deeper information of life, some of the
Right.
things that people find controversial or uh, taboo.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, let's say the three things you don't want to talk about is religion, politics, and gender. Right. So,
Right.
but yeah. So here we are. Here we are. Uh, oh, go ahead. Did you have something you
No,
want to say?
no, I was just saying. Right now, it's just like a lot of things going on, especially here in Canton. 330. We got things going on in Akron. With the Jalen Walker incident. Then we got Missy Mercy Gray. They trying to cancel her for saying that
Right.
operation doesn't make you a woman. I don't think that that's something she should be canceled for. But it's just
No.
that's what's going on around here.
Indeed. Indeed. Macy Gray, like you were saying, we would say, Mike, well, where are you and what do you mean around there? Well, you said Canton, Ohio. That's her birthplace. That's where
Hmm.
Macy Gray is from. Uh, and I found that out back in college, back in
Right.
like mid 90s
Hmm.
when I was in college. Some good friends of mine from North Canton, they showed me their yearbook, and then they showed me Macy Gray, and the other person that was famous from their school was
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, that's where my
Yeah.
son goes to school at Canton South.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
That's where my friends graduated from. So yeah, a wealth of history in that city.
Right.
Uh, I would love to see it revive in a what's the word I'm looking for, in an elevated fashion.
Right.
I believe that you'll be integral in that manifestation.
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah.
Definitely like Kenny Peterson. He's doing a lot of work with the men in Canton. and it's a lot of good men coming together to do some things. Um,
Yeah.
it's a lot of people coming together, man. I'm actually um, kind of like, even today I seen we had a lot of unity. A lot of black businesses came together, to help out a nice cause and things like that. We went down to New Philly and had the Trey Burke camp at the Higgins camp.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
Huggy Bear from Virginia, West Virginia, the coach of West Virginia.
Okay.
He has a big old complex. It's called Huggins Camp. But it's really nice. It has 6 football fields. It has 6 full-size basketball courts on the inside. Then it has, more outside. Sits on 150 acres. But we had so many brothers from Canton there, different multimedia groups. Sims Multimedia. We were the official group to shoot the thing, but everybody else came in to help. And it just was a beautiful thing to see brothers having fun. Doing the things we love and give it back to the kids, man.
Absolutely. Working in unison, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Always a beautiful thing. When you first said Huggy Bear, I was thinking of Antonio Fargas.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you
Yeah,
mean. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the first name to come to my mind, but that's the way I can remember Mr. Huggins. They
yeah.
call him
Mr.
Huggy
Huggins.
Bear.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. Yes, man. So let's get into it, man. So
let's go.
recently there is an unfortunate shooting um, of a young, as they say, so-called African American male in city of Akron, a door dasher,
Yeah.
uh, apparently on duty for work, just doing his job, and for whatever reason, the police felt a need that they wanted him to pull over. Um, some of the details are sketchy there, but they alleged that he had fired gunshots out of the window of his car while he was driving, and they were pursuing him to pull over. Um, it's very disturbing with the findings that occurred after the fact. And
Right.
can you elaborate on what you know on that?
From what I heard, what I know from local people, that kind of been very active in the situation. They said he had the weapon hadn't been discharged. There's no evidence that the weapon was discharged. No gunpowder inside the car. No gunpowder on his hands. The weapon, like you said, you can tell when a weapon is discharged. I mean, you can even smell if it's just been discharged. So a lot of
Right,
people are speculating that it was placed there because after what happened, and it had no good reason. I mean, you know, even if he left and he was fleeing the scene, it's no reason for 60 hits. I mean, let alone
right,
99 shots, but 60 hits, 10
right,
to the face. You know what I mean? Like that's overkill. And then when I see people going shooting up parades and
right.
shooting up drugstores, killing old people like in Buffalo, and they get to come home. They get to get their fair trial. This
Right.
brother, from all we know, he might not have did nothing but maybe speeding if he did that, or didn't use a blinker. The thing is, he was scared for his life
Yeah,
because he ran, and he had a good reason because, we counted the bullets, and that had to be 8 cops damn near emptying out their clip in unison.
exactly. That's exactly what it would have been.
Hmm.
Somewhere near 104 gunshots for one individual who was in flight from them. You
Right.
know, I mean, even if he had a gun, if he was shooting over his shoulder, or you know, I mean, how do you fire gunshots as the driver with police in the rear of you in pursuit? I mean, this way where you're gonna blow your eardrum out.
Exactly.
Uh, Those of us who've dealt with firearms, been trained in firearms, used firearms, for a certain period of time in our life, we
Right.
just know that just doesn't even add up. It doesn't make any logical sense. You
No.
know,
That gun would have been smoking. That gun would have been smoking. He'd had the residue all on his fingers.
right?
They would have found it even on the inside of the car, on the side of the car. I
Yep.
mean, it's physical evidence when you fire a gun. I
Yeah.
take my son out to shoot all the time. I live in the country. We use firearms, so I know the difference. And
Yeah.
my thing that just it doesn't even. It's not that it worries me at this point, but I'm just getting so fed up. It's no excuse.
Yeah.
It's just no excuse, man. I mean, the family was already mourning. I mean, his wife died less than a month ago. I don't even know what from. But maybe at one time I thought maybe it was suicide by cop. But then it was
That
no
was my
evidence.
first thought too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was no evidence of a gunfire.
Right. That's
Suicide by cop, you get out and you bang it out. They gonna
yeah.
shoot you 60 times anyway.
Yeah. You trying to take somebody with you.
Yeah, he tried to
Yeah.
run, man, and it just don't add up to me, man. It's just a sad thing. You know, I'm tired of hearing it. You know, down here in Canton, they
Mm,
killed a guy on his porch. Of course, he
hmm.
was firing a AK-47 off on his
Right.
porch, but he was doing it in a celebratory way.
Up in the
He
air. Yeah.
up in the air and thought, but you can't do that in the
Can't do
city.
that either. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it at my house, but you can't do it in the city. And
Hmm.
they came and didn't ask any questions and killed him right in front of his family. I seen his family standing on the side of the road with signs, and they were so young. And these not even people of color. So
Right.
it's just too much. My friend of mine, he got killed a couple of days ago, and it was
Mm-hmm.
and it was like they didn't even care, But then we had enough people in Canton that knew the young man and let him know that his life mattered, man. Really find out what happened. His life actually mattered, and it's a shame that we got to keep doing that. And I've always
Right.
told people, man,
I agree.
once you got to tell somebody your life matter, it doesn't. And the only way to make it matter is to stand up and let it be known that it matter. And it's just getting to a time where all the excuses are running out. I
So
can, we can, we as the peacemakers in our community can only hold people back so long,
facts.
and
Absolute
that's
facts.
what they don't realize. You know, most of the business owners, most of the young men who are striving to help the next generation, we holding people back from something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You can't lie to us and tell us you got numbers no more. Everybody
Right.
got guns. They didn't stop making bullets when y'all got them. I mean, if you could be touched, you can be killed. I mean, you bleed just like us. You gotta go home. You have a family. We just say that you know we better people than that. Like
Yeah.
Cat Williams
Absolutely.
said, we're better people than that. It's not
Yeah.
like we don't know the solution.
Yeah.
It's not like if I have a code, I don't know how to get rid of it. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
So
It's
let's dig into that a little bit. Like, what's holding us back? What's holding us back from taking that action? What's going on spiritually? What do you think uh, is occurring on an esoteric level, on a more hidden, behind the scenes, beyond the veil level? What's happening with that?
I think the meek shall inherit the earth. I think we are meek because we know what we can do. We know our capabilities, but like I said, we're better people than that. We're trying to raise our vibration because as the black vibration goes, so does the world. You know, whatever we like, whatever our styles is, whatever we think as a collective conscious, that's the way the world goes.
Yeah.
So we know violence begets violence. We seen enough death. Like I always tell people, you can tell when a brother from the hood because when he get older, he don't want no parts of it. Once you see
Mhm.
violence, you don't want violence, man. You
Right.
know, we seen him shoot a brother over 10 times in the face,
In the face, man.
and they say you are passed from life to death when you pray for your enemies. I
Mm.
pray for them people because I wouldn't want to shoot them 10 times in the
Right.
face.
Yeah. A sane person would not desire that.
Nah, I
Now,
don't want to see that.
a person that's been driven crazy though will do that and then some. And I think that I want to speak as a whole per se on this particular thing, but I think a great deal of our populace is right on the verge of that break. You know, even in the words of the illustrious Tupac Shakur, only a lunatic would like to see a skull crushed,
Right.
right? But you can't keep pissing down my back and telling me that it's raining.
Exactly.
You're not giving us equal protection. You're not even giving us equal consideration.
No.
But uh, you know, as it pertains to on the spiritual side, I mean, we look at the numbers have been there are over there's been over 300 shootings or killings of melanated people, Aboriginal people, whatever people identify, blacks, so-called black African Americans, over 300 a year, been on average for over the last 8 years. I deal with some individuals, and they've been tracking it, and as they hit me to the numbers of it, I just knew there was masses. I just knew it was masses. But as I started to look up the statistics, and I'm like, wow, this is a fact, and it's not being discussed in open media, mainstream media at all. You know,
Yeah. Because I know I didn't know the numbers. I mean, and then when you told me, it's like, wow. But then I think about it. I know within 20 miles of my house, there's been 5 people this year.
right?
That's
Yeah,
wild, man.
and there's been several right here in Central Ohio. I'm from Youngstown, so I'm not sure on the numbers there, but I'm quite sure they're elevated. From what might have been. I hate to say it this way, but the norm prior
Right,
is escalating. We're seeing marches where these so-called white supremacist groups are coming out armed, making a show of uh, weaponized action. But
right.
when what is it called, the not effing around coalition,
Yeah,
then there's police and presence and arrests and accidental discharges and things like that that just are not indicative of our status quo or mode of operation. Our modus operandi is not sloppy. If we're going to be organized in doing such, we're going to make sure that we got our stuff together. So that's not a diss at them or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, something's not adding up.
no. You know, I mean, I'm looking at it, and I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist or sound like I am one, but ever since G5, ever since they started turning up the temperature, what I like to say,
Yeah,
we've had a lot of psychotic episodes. Because to me, 8 cops shooting a kid 100 times, that's a psychotic episode, and it happened in a group, so that's unusual to me. I mean, I don't hear that much. Sometimes you might hear 1 or 2 cops, together, but 8,
8, right,
they had to be all on one accord. That's the thing. They had to be all on one accord. I don't think they radioed, we're gonna empty the clip. No, I
right.
think I
No,
think I think it was a gang type mentality. Just like when you go
mm,
to a concert and it's a big fight inside the concert, they fight outside too. You see what I'm
oh yeah,
saying? It's a vibration,
oh yeah.
and
Um,
that's what's scaring me because the vibration in my city been a little off lately. You know,
mm,
people getting shot on their porch.
mm,
A friend of mine with a big heart big as my chest or my head. You know what I'm saying? Gets killed. I don't get it. Then a few other people that I know that are not in the streets or not doing anything illegal. You
right.
know they've been killed. A couple young kids have been killed. What's going on in my city? What's the vibration of my city? That's why I speak love all the time and try to be unified. And us older men, we trying to get together to show that it's masculine, to love one another. It's masculine to take care of your brother. It's masculine to take care of your woman. It's masculine to, reach back for them kids that's lost.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the only way we can fight it, because I think what we're fighting right now is unnatural. Like I said, it's something about that G5, man. It's something about that lollipop. It's something
Mm,
about the way people change. I'm noticing the difference in the people that took the lollipop and the people that didn't. I mean, they're starting to be very critical on common sense. They're changing the way they acting. And I don't know if anybody else is noticing this, but I can't hardly be around people who've taken a shot. You
yeah,
know, it's like you channel 5, you channel 8 news, you Fox News, you fake news all day. It's like they want to talk about shit like Donald Trump. He's not even a president, bro.
right.
They want to talk about shit like uh, let's go, we get a gun or right to carry it, and this and that. Like it's a good thing, man. All they gotta do is say they're afraid of us now and shoot us. Stand your ground.
Yeah,
That's never a good thing for us.
no,
You know, I just think
yeah,
something's in the air, man, and I think it's more than air.
yeah.
You feel me? I think it's waves. I mean, I believe in vibration. I
Oh
believe
yeah,
in I believe in manifestation, perfection, projection. But if you got somebody else sending something to your antennas, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Maybe they projecting your next move. You see what
Let's
I'm
get
saying?
yeah, let's get into that. So, with us being with us being the carbon beings that we are, the melanated liquid crystals,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
the dark matter consciousness in flesh, they have always, once they learned how we function, how we vibrate,
Right. Exactly.
projected thoughts that become images that become the basic reality, the general shared consciousness of the rest of those who are within the realm.
Right.
So one of the solutions, hold on,
OJ.
sorry about that.
It's
So
all
I had a
good.
little situation in the background going on. So where was I? So the projection, um, as we vibrate, our thoughts become words, and then our words become things, right? So
Right.
as we speak from the third dimension and manifest into the fourth dimension, the shared reality becomes more and more of what we believe as opposed to what we know.
Right.
My uncle, when I was growing up, he would always say to me, "Boy, talk what you know, not what you think."
Hmm.
And somehow we've got to instill within this next generation or two that same principle. Don't believe everything you hear. Believe half, uh, none of what you hear and half of what you see. And I
Right.
would say maybe even less than half of what you see, because we have such control over AI
Hmm.
and virtual reality.
Right.
In fact, that's what it seems like, in my opinion, that is what's being pushed to dominate us is our own inner fears based upon the false information that we're receiving
Right.
to weaken our minds in order to speak those things that are not as though they were, in the
Yeah.
negative as opposed to the positive.
Right.
So as one group is saying, manifest what you want, manifest your destiny, manifest your reality, manifest your highest vibrational field and frequency. There's another one that's saying, yeah, I'll take that negative. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Say Black Lives Matter, because in English we don't even realize that we're saying that Black lives don't matter. We're saying that Black matters are not materialized. So, or let's materialize rather Black lives, which means death.
Right.
How do you have a dead life?
Right. Right.
You're the living dead. So the lollipop, as you call it,
Hmm.
that comes with that reality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we're not even thinking on that frequency at those moments to reverse the narrative while reversing the messaging.
Right. Definitely. And I think the main thing is, when we look back in the '60s and the '70s, they was using natural instruments. Everybody was singing about love. Everybody was conscious. You know what I mean? Far as political and social, they were socially conscious. We had the Black Panthers, coming out talking about, breakfasts, feeding kids, knowing that you can't learn on an empty stomach and things like that. And I honestly believe AI started seeing that through pressure make pipes. AI is trying to figure out how to get a soul. They can already get a body. You can already clone a body. You can already transfer consciousness. I don't know if people even want to believe that, but they can do that. But they haven't figured out what a soul is. They don't know what love is. Love is the closest thing to soul to them. And they know that when you hurt us, we love harder. Either it be a love through emotion through our loss, or it be us gathering together to make something happen. For example,
That's heavy.
in Africa, when they had the famine and all the stars came together and sung "We Are the World," that famine brought together a demonstration of love, and that's the last thing that AI has to learn. Learn again. We talk about CERN, but that's
Hmm.
maybe later. But you see
Oh
where
yeah,
I'm
we're gonna
going.
get into that too.
But you
Yeah,
see where I'm going. They're trying
absolutely.
to learn us
Mm.
so they
So
can duplicate.
you think it's duplicate or replace?
Well, they want a place at the table.
Mm.
They know that we have dominion because we have a soul.
Mm.
So in order to get dominion, you need a soul. Hence, what you know what I'm saying? We go there later, but you see where I'm going?
I see exactly where you're going, and I don't disagree. I just think it goes a little step further. I think they want to replace us. I think they want the table for themselves.
Yeah, they want
And
dominion. They want to have
yeah,
dominion upon this earth.
yeah. Well, we gave them dominion. Well, I didn't say we, but I'll say the ancestors. Some of the ancestors said, "Give them a crack at it."
Yeah,
I mean, else it would not have taken place. I mean, thing that is amazing is the miseducation and the things in the media that are being discussed now, such as critical race theory, is indicative of the overwhelming miseducation of the masses
yeah,
within this country. And it's not just our community, where it's always our community that's picked on or highlighted for their ignorance or backwards ways or uh, lack of the ability to think for themselves. And
right,
it's really not. It's the fact that you have a whole generation that was reprogrammed. The children were reprogrammed, taken away from the adults. And then if you think about with the 8 to 10 hour workday, some people it's 12 or 14.
hmm,
Who's raising the kids? Everything's live stream. Everything's a screen in front of you. What is a screen?
right.
When you play football, what's a screen? It's a block. It's
It's a
blocking
block.
something.
Yeah,
And all you see is what's in front of you. As a running former running back, you if you have great vision, you could be as fast as you want to be. But
right.
without that vision,
Yeah,
you're not going to be a top yard rusher. You're going to get a few yards here and there. You might break here and there for a
right,
open touchdown when it's obviously, the blocking scheme is perfect and the guys can't get to you. But when you have to maneuver,
right,
you have to be able to see ahead of time, sometimes split seconds before your opponent, the defender that's in front of
right.
you trying to make that obstacle, make it impossible for you.
Yeah,
And, you know, they, how can I put that? They have deceived us to actually believe that they did what they did on their own. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Shout out to Sabir Bey. He's a gentleman I like to follow. We call him the traveling Moor. Okay, Sabir. One of his main things he always brings up is a book by a man named Franz. Uh, what was his name? Franz. Why am I? Fanon. Franz Fanon. White, black skin, white masks.
Mm.
And so they don't want us to discover that even the people that we at one time respected and thought was our leadership were in on the game.
Definitely.
You mentioned the Panthers program, and later has become now WIC, Women and Infant Children,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
um, why were they able to take that away from them? We have to look at schematics and phraseology and wording, and be more analytical in our thought process towards those things. We were given one history. We glorified the Panthers, but why were they called Black Panthers? What other color is a panther? I've never heard of another hue or color of a panther.
Right. And a leopard. The panther is a leopard. So
Well,
the all black leopard is a panther. So it is no other color for a
right,
panther than black, because
right,
that's a definition by term. So yeah,
yeah,
a dead cat. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. So
I get
I
it.
mean, and then they're Marxists.
Hmm.
I was just pointing out to a friend and a cousin of mine that every time there's a movement for our people, it's always leftist, and it's
Right.
always steeped in Marxism, socialism, and communism, which
Right.
automatically makes you an enemy of the state, which ironically is already the case.
Right.
When we live in a land where our ancestors are from, but
I mean,
they want to remove us from our state. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah. In the corporation, I mean, the founders were terrorists. The founders were terrorists to the queen,
indeed,
and and they act like we don't see them as terrorists today for what they do. I mean, look at the Boston Tea Party. They lied on the Native Americans
yeah,
to start a war.
to start a war.
I mean, so
Even impersonated them, right? Which is
right,
what replacing them
yeah.
in some sense, right?
So you understand the $5 Indian. So
Absolutely.
you understand about the takeover. AI is learning from the most treacherous beings that have ever been on this planet.
Yes,
You see what I'm saying?
absolutely, absolutely. And then a master teacher that rose from amongst the hybrid uh, foreigner, um, taught the origin of the hybrid foreigner and the hand of the scientists that genetically manipulated their existence into being what it is now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not to disrespect anyone. It's not to even play the race card or play the race game. But what the agenda has always been is to create a separation between the natural and the AI,
Right.
while controlling the natural by AI. Not before AI came into existence, as far as we view it now, we were the AI.
Exactly.
You know,
Hmm.
so it's just kind of interesting how things are progressing, and people think, oh, this is something new. Like, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. You've been at war for over 1,500 years. You just fell asleep, and when you uh oh, T's trying to come on. Come on, T. You can come on.
Hmm.
They say you got to reconnect your device to. Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to try to come back in. Okay, so yeah, so we've been at war, and it's like people have just now become aware that they've been in a war. I mean, that's where all these terms of stress, post traumatic stress syndrome, stress response, anxiety disorder,
Yeah.
you know, bipolar disorder. These are effects of warfare, psychic
Exactly.
warfare, frequency warfare, and spiritual warfare.
You're talking to a veteran. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
St- that
go ahead,
music.
you go.
Nah, it started with that music. I
Mm,
knew when they told me about how they manipulate the vibration to get a certain response, and I didn't continue to do that, and started, preaching more on natural vibrations, and explaining to people like your body's water and crystals change by vibration, and this and that and this and that, trying to make them understand that music is witchcraft. I knew when I got out of the music, I knew it was coming, you know, but I knew I was going to be strong enough to get through it.
hmm
You know, it's just it's something that it's almost like that one movie when a prisoner was snatched up by the inmate, and he said, "What did you lose?"
mm,
I lost all my illusions that day. I lost all my illusions in there, and that's one of the hardest things because it breaks down all your life. It breaks down the dogma. It breaks down everything you've been taught, and you got to unlearn and relearn. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm texting T to go ahead and turn his mic on, saying he needs to turn his mic on for me to add him into the live stream.
All
But
right.
yeah, I'm in a total agreement with you on that as well. As a musician, songwriter, composer, whatever, uh, as I began to realize that music is sorcery, it's a form of sorcery, right?
Definitely.
Um, Other things start to become revealed to you as you grow in your craft, for lack of a better word, as you grow in your craft and your understanding of your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your skill set. As you develop those things further, you realize how much you can actually manipulate or control the frequency around you with music.
Right.
Uh, Even I remember there's a guy, I have to look him up so we can bring his name into the conversation at another time in the future. But he was going around speaking at minute with to ministries in the 70s, and he was with a big major rock label, and he was explaining to them that it doesn't matter what the lyrics of your song say. It's all about the frequency that's within the music and instrumentation, and that's where the spells were being cast.
Right. Right.
He
Definitely.
said you can add the name of your God, Jesus.
Hmm.
It doesn't even matter if the composer is uh, channeling, for lack of a better word.
And you notice when it got powerful, they started using fake instruments, so that they was even programmed to be on that unnatural vibration. I mean, it's
Yeah,
ways that
absolutely.
a guitarist can riff and take you there, but
hmm
it's harder. But it's a lot harder when you got all unnatural sounds, unnatural vibrations. It's already programmed in the. It's programmed in Fruity Loops. It's programmed in every sample.
mm
The unnatural vibration.
hmm
You feel me? It's like it's almost like the way they do things now is so upfront and so up in the open. You would have to be blind not to understand what it is. You know what I mean? Like Chicago, that drill music and all that stuff. And they always say the same thing. It's a bird gang. You know from people in Louisiana and people what the bird game is. You know,
Exactly.
it's dropping off this body for another body. You see what I mean? The fear of death is gone.
hmm
you know, the fear of sin is gone because they do know the fact that there's no right, no wrong. Life just is. So the fear of them, you see what I'm saying? The fear of them going to
Yeah,
hell is gone. The
yeah,
fear of them not having another body is gone. You know, a lot of them. You can tell when they made the oath because they'll start talking about being immortal. They'll get the infinity sign on their body. You know what I mean? It's it's,
Yeah,
it's, it's deep. It's deep. It's a deep thing.
that's when they get into their alternate sexuality as well. Uh,
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember an interview where there's a rock musician from a mixed background. I'm just going to leave it at that. Mixed
Okay.
background, ethnic heritage. And he was talking about when he reached a certain level, not just in sales, but his actual musicianship, that he was approached by an older rock star from the 70s and 60s
Right.
that engaged in, acts of sexual nature with him. And they asked him, was he bi or was he gay? And he said, you see, you people put labels on things because you're not a god yet.
Right.
And I was sitting there listening. I said, say what?
Yeah.
He
That's part.
said, when you become a living God because you reach your level of mastery of where you are in your particular field of choice,
Right.
he's like, you can do whatever you want with whoever you want.
Hmm.
I said, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what they feel. You can do whatever we
Mm-hmm.
want for who you want because no right, no wrong. Life just is. What's again?
Alistair Crowley,
Yeah, do as they
I know
will.
exactly who you
You know, with Jay
do
Z
what
wears
thou
the
wilt,
shirt.
do
Do
what
it.
thou wilt
Do what thou
is
will.
the entirety of the law.
Yeah,
As
and
long as I'm not hurting you, I can do whatever I
do
want.
what I will. Yeah, and it's true to extent to an
Oh yeah,
extent,
yeah,
but it's witchcraft. They know the difference
yeah.
between them and us. We break our covenant when we n- decide not to be masculine when God asked
Hmm.
us to be. You see what I'm saying? Or when the creator or our creation of ourself came into this world masculine. You see what I'm saying? We're defying ourselves when we partake in those things or when we say that it's no limit. We put our own limit on us because that's
Uh-oh, where did we go? You there, Aaron? Did we get disconnected there? You froze up. You still there, Aaron? Can you still hear me? Wow. Well, folks, stay tuned. Hold on for a moment here. We're gonna get it back together. It looks like Brother Aaron must have lost his feed, so I'm just gonna wait for him to jump back in. Oh yeah. So Brother Aaron was building on the functionality and purpose of the masculine energy, and going against the one's universal conviction. And it's a difficult subject to tackle these days with all of the gender identity and personal pronouns and pronouns that people insist on being called despite whatever their birth origin uh, or original gender is. And so, yeah, that's a deep thing to get into discussion. I hope that he can hop back on here. Let's see here. see what's going on. Hey, brother. No, no, I'm still rolling. Click on that link. Click on the link and come back on backstage. Yeah, yeah, because we're still rolling. For a moment, you froze up, and then you just like it like shook, screen shook, and then you went away. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. Yeah, I went on ahead and resent the link so you could jump on. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, somebody must not have liked what you had to say. I said somebody. No, I was just joking. That just has yours. Well, it might be a group. I might because I did send the group one out. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Once again, if you're still with us, yeah, you're still watching the Piercing the Veil podcast. There we are. There you are. You back on.
They tried to zock me out. They said I was keeping it too real. He said we was keeping it too real, J. Drew.
Too real. So you left off on the covenant. You were talking about the masculine
That's right.
functionality and purpose, and the covenant with the self in order to carry out.
The
Uh,
mission, our
yeah.
mission.
Right.
If
Right.
we can go back to ancient Kemet. Now, I always don't. I don't want to tell people that it was women here before it was men, and it was a reason why we created men, manifested men, to control these unaccountable beings.
That's it. That's the interesting take
So
on
if
it.
we lose our masculinity, these unaccountable beings will take their rightful place, which is the feminine energy that AI is promoting in our
Hmm.
community.
Now,
But
do you think that it's the true sense of femininity? Being that uh, at one time there was only females
right,
on the planet,
right,
and every uh, infant, sorry, not infant, excuse me, that's not the right word. Every embryo starts out
as a
as
woman.
a female.
Hmm.
Do you think that what they're promoting is the true feminine or sacred divine feminine, or are they promoting an altered version, an AI version, something that is on the wings of something else behind it?
Um, the alternate is definitely on the wings of something else behind it because the true femininity and the true power. of a woman is submission, because they
Mm.
control everything with submission. They run
Mm.
everything with no problem, no hesitation. Ain't nobody gonna fight you. We love to take care of you. We love to be the man for you, but you won't allow us to. So, defeating with the music, the styles. Um, like what did Kendra say? What's the only community feel they're the only ones relevant? Where the hypocrites at? Those people. Anybody you can't talk about, they're always your enemy. You can't talk about Jews. You can't talk about homosexuality,
Mm.
and you can't talk about women anymore. I'm starting to see that. I mean, they ain't gonna stop me talking about now three of them motherfuckers. But you see where I'm going. We can identify our enemy by who
Yeah.
we can't talk about. Let's try that one.
We got our sister Jesus.
Uh oh.
I didn't know if I was late or not. Lord,
You're right on time,
How
sister.
you doing, Queen?
honor to you, brother. Honor.
Indeed, honor to you. How are you?
Oh, I see them
Oh,
walls. I see that wall.
how are you, sister Jesus? Can you hear us?
Yes,
Trying
can
to
you
send
hear
me a
me?
message.
Yeah,
Can
we
you
hear
hear
you
me
loud.
clear?
We hear you loud and clear. You sound
Okay,
great.
good, good, good. Um, I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. Say it that way. Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling the embracing of revelations in this breath, the full embracement of revelations, because I just was revealed a very powerful revelations to where even the nervous system said, "Oh, okay, whoa, yeah." So yeah,
Can you share it with us, sister? Can you share it with us? What you felt? What the revelation was?
the revelations is the creator gods that rule the heavens right now. He has five brothers, a genderless male ruler, creator god that has been over the kingdoms of heaven, prime world, for the past, what we would say is 14 million earth years, because the cycle had changed. His father was creator God over the prime world heavenly kingdoms. Now his son, which has five brothers, six. One of the brothers, there's the creator appointed over the prime world, and then he has five brothers. So it's six of them, but it's one that's the ruler. One of the brothers had two children, and there was a, a imbalance with the creation, where the creation is abnormal of two children, which would be angelic children, because the prime world is an angelic paradigm. These children, in the imbalance of the creation, is doesn't match how we all are on the sun in the prime world. So they were hidden, and a false children were put in that position.
Mm.
These children were put to the bottom of the prime world under. The male left. The female is here. There is no blueprint. There is no installations. This person is not registered on this plane. Nothing. Not even here, although has a human avatar. That's a problem.
Mm.
She has four children. They are blank. I am the navigation for Kepler when we reset to take 1.6 billion back to Kepler, which is prime world. That person is not on my navigation, blanked out. There's no, we're registered, like a registration for school.
Right.
Each star nation is registered here and had to come through the sun
To get an Earth
to
suit.
put a human avatar.
Yeah.
So the sun is hosting this thing here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Bear with me. She has 4 children. They're blank. That means that I don't take them home. They perish. When the Eternals, there's 22 called the Eternals. When the Eternals resurrect this dome, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
and all the little X-Men get to show their shit out here.
Yeah. A little firmer
This
over the door.
woman and 4 children would perish.
Right.
Okay. What I need to do is I live with the creator of the aquatic paradigm in the solar system, known to people as Atlantis, but this is our home paradigm in the solar system. I gave birth to the creator now, which is one of Noah's sons now over this aquatic world. It used to be a being called Solomon, not David's son. This is another Solomon that was over the aquatic paradigm. He goes out, Poseidon gives Noah's son the rulership over that. This family of 5, woman, mother, and 4 children, they bear with me. What I need to do, the prime world is not evolved to create a avatar with the cosmic blueprint and installation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the angelic avatar that she would need to transcend into to get out of here. That's easy because that's a lesser transcendental form. There's no cosmic, there's no multi-dimension doing that shit unless you're an archangel. You see what I'm saying? The archangel have the extraterrestrial in it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what I have to do, I have to create the angelic avatar installation. And what I would do is I'm going to copy. It's like I've taken a picture of her and her 4 children. And I'm going to create an avatar, first an angelic avatar, and her 4 children. It's like taking a picture. And I create the angelic avatar with technology, honestly. It's a 1, 2, 3 to an extraterrestrial, but I'll go deeper. What I get ready to do is I'm going to create the cosmic avatar. They're going to be of Atlantis now. Not only of the sun. Yeah, she's going to become I'm going to build the extraterrestrial avatar and blueprint for her and her 4 children, and they will be Atlanteans in our aquatic world in the paradigm. Excuse me, in the solar system, excuse me. She can right be a cosmic being, an extraterrestrial, her and her 4 children. And it's like, excuse me.
So
when I do that, now, when I do that in the lab, I can say something to the creator because he's going to have to install the multi-dimensional quantum intelligence, like the controls in the feet. But the angelics got that too. You know what I'm saying? Because the angels can fly. You see what I'm saying? But yet the cosmic energy point of control is different because extraterrestrials, we could leave the planet on our feet, yet those from the sun wouldn't be able to do that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you got what I'm saying? The cosmic extraterrestrial is a different design than an angel. A regular angel, just an angel. You following me? Because the angels come in rankings, but I just talking about a regular angel, not the archangels, because the archangel is actually extraterrestrial.
Right.
It's an upgraded, way upgraded. You understand me? So I'm gonna copy the 4 children avatar and the mother, and I would have to create a DNA, create a chakra system, create a blueprint. In the blueprint would be the quantum intelligence, which is going to be aquatic. So she'll be able, the creator, she got to have the spaceborne controls in the feet. I could make her a grid master,
So
where she
I
would
have
be
a question.
specializing in grids in Atlantis. I could create her, make her of the priesthood, because she
I,
brand new.
so
You understand what I'm saying?
I have a question. So you're talking about the repopulating of the new Earth.
Yeah,
So
she would be a part of that. Yes.
I think I think you might have missed where
Oh
brother
boy.
Aaron was just talking about what you're saying, but the old beginning. So we were trying to bridge the knowledge gap into
Oh,
where the woman emerged as a separate gender from the man when prior to that period there was only the female.
Antarctica, when 72 female organisms came in spaceborne, not born of a woman, parthenogenesis to create, without the phallus inside the womb.
Right.
Right.
It was 72 at first. It was an experiment to see, well, how is this going to work? You know what I'm saying? Let's try this out. Like the movie Avatar, even though I didn't see it, but like that. Uh, and we began to, like, I was actually the one who had to learn how to float. But it's the same as, yeah, whatever that movie Avatar is, how Jake had to understand, they had to learn how to move that thing around. It was the same thing. That was clearly the same shit.
You had to learn how to connect.
Yeah,
It connects through
it was,
thought process instead of telling something. You had to learn how to connect and
yeah,
become one with it. Yeah, I
yeah,
understand.
it was the
Even with
first.
plants. Yeah.
And Antarctica would be the first on the surface, that female organism. Then that's when it was paradise. So
Right.
we lived through golden ages, us Amazons. Things changed though,
So
because throughout,
when you speak of Antarctica, sorry, you're speaking of when it was like a supercontinent. So like, cause most when you hear most people talk about this concept, they automatically place everything in Mesopotamia or Africa. So can you elaborate on the meaning of Antarctica in your account and memory of these events?
Yeah, 'cause that's the wall. Antarctica.
you get ready to go to the wall too.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's go.
I
She
don't
got
know how to turn my camera around. Excuse me.
That's that.
it's okay.
That's, yeah. I
She
know where you're going. That's the wall.
she's
Born and
no,
that's the
she's got
resurrection.
it on her wall.
I know. That's why. Hey,
He said it before I even. He didn't
I'm
even
in.
see that part.
I'm in tune with what she's.
Dang, he
I'm
said it
feeling
before
it.
I even showed the wall. Like,
I'm
Yeah,
feeling you. I know
okay,
what's
yeah.
up.
so we know that this is what the human eye projects,
Right.
right? Okay, so that's what the human eye projects. And Antarctica, oh man, I don't know how to turn my camera around. Sorry.
You're
This
all right.
being what the human eyes project, but yet the exit to the wall here and outside of here is so much more to Antarctica.
Right.
So much more. Excuse me. Dang, excuse me, brothers. I'm doing my best to. Excuse me. I don't know how to turn my camera. No.
There's actually a jungle behind there.
Yeah,
This
rainforest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been there in astral projection, but never. Of course,
there
never been there.
is beyond this the dimension changes. The ground is celestial because our human flesh would drop to pass through. There is no such thing. The body would have to transcend into its body inside the body, or another transcendental form, an extraterrestrial form, to be able to
Definitely.
penetrate through that other side of the wall where there are
many a races, celestial races alive right now. There are chiefs sitting in trees looking dead at us. It's giants as tall as 6 miles tall, looking right over here, like just looking over here. There are
Woolly mammoths, woolly
mhm.
mammoths, big elephants with long hair. There are live trees
Yep.
that are. I've been there. I told you astral projection. You can't go there physically.
Right. I went through I had to go I'm in North Carolina. I had to drive to West Virginia and go through a mountain to get over to the other side, and
Mm,
from living on that side where let me see. You see Thoth, the moving the floating island. See this
mm-hmm.
where Thoth was.
Thought. Yep.
Uh-huh. And there's some kind of document of Thoth. I don't know where, excuse me. Uh it's about Thoth in the land of the giants. That's coming from the other side of the Antarctica wall. I had communication with different races on the other side now, and
Mm,
communication with them. Yeah, yup. Uh, yeah,
mm,
yeah. In fact, I get ready to build a tunnel. What would be a tunnel? Because when it's time to reset, there are beings on this side that need to go back on that side. Mm-hmm. Yep, reset.
yep.
So those are yep, reset. So many. So I get ready to build something now to deliver the light being star seeds that are here now that need to be delivered to the other side of what's called the Antarctica wall. That's on this side. Many of them been here since we was inside the earth anyway. They just you know what I'm saying, on this side. Just like Hollow Earth, the races inside Hollow Earth, the city of Toso on the Mount Shasta, the ascended master and his family, they have their children are on the surface. It's a lot of them that transcended up to the surface and getting to work like the rest of us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. City of Tulsa, the ascended master, the city of Tulsa, right under Mount Shasta, because that's where the exit is, Mount Shasta. Uh, uh, uh. He got a daughter in Mexico doing the light work as well. You know what I'm
But
saying? Transcended.
but it's a
Mm-hmm.
different energy between the inner sun and our sun. It's a
Well,
very
they're both our sun.
it's more pure. The inner sun is more pure. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they're both our sons. We left our first estate, which was within the inner earth.
Hmm.
We became surface dwellers because as the carbon evolved within us, the liquid crystal, we became more we became more compatible with the surface.
That's the blue sun named Century. Century, like Century 21.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's uh Quetzalcoatl's brother, and the black sun brother, that's Century's brother. All three of them is brothers. Blue sun, Century, black sun, and Quetzalcoatl, they all brothers.
Yeah. I actually wrote a song about that. Didn't even know what it was.
Shut up.
Yeah. It's wild.
I didn't mean to say shut up, excuse me.
Nah, I get you.
Mm. About the three sons?
About the blue sun.
Century.
I was stuck on blue. The song's called Stuck on Blue.
Shit, that's our generator right there.
So,
Generator.
and that's the priesthood that I emerged from.
That's why
Mm.
you said blue
Yeah,
pie.
Blue Phi,
Hmm.
Blue Phi Temple, Blu-ray, all that technology came from my house.
Man, Jay, all I got to say is we related, man. Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. And
That makes me
I
so.
just keep on connecting the family. I'm connecting the light family and the blood family as much as possible on a regular basis. That's one of my missions. You know, if you read in the Biblos, they call it the Bible, but the Helios Biblos, you check out the book of Jude, who they made the patron saint what of sick children, or is that what it is, Aaron? Do you know? Do you remember
I don't know, man.
Saint Jude?
I be
It
guessing.
deals with healing children. That's why they named that hospital
Yeah.
the Shriner Hospital, St. Jude. But yeah, he said the angels which kept not their first estate will be bound under everlasting chains under darkness until the great and terrible day of the judgment. And he's cut off. He's supposed to be the younger brother of Yeshua.
Hmm.
Why would you cut him off after one chapter of wisdom? Because he began to refer to the things of Enoch. He was exposing the Enochian magic that these dark lords have been using, and they mimic the wisdom that we were given from the ancients and the ancestors. They use everything in reverse to confuse us into breaking our like you said, oaths or covenants.
Yes.
Hmm.
Wow.
It's an envy thing.
Oh yeah,
They envy our ability. They envy our privilege. We just don't know how to use it, and we don't understand it.
they
But
envy our birth order also. Go ahead,
hmm
go ahead, Drew. I didn't want to cut you off. I was just
no,
adding in.
shoot, I'm just, yeah, just enjoying the education and knowing that I'm getting an upload today. I'm learning stuff, even when y'all ain't talking. Something talking. You know what I mean? I'm connecting dots. I'm staring at her wall, reading what she talking about and understanding it, not even knowing what she talking about. You know what
High
I'm saying?
science, high
That's it.
Yeah.
science.
That's the remembrance. That's all. The formula, the
Right.
blueprint coming alive.
Yep. Just like what Cat Williams said. He said, "You want to hear me tell a lie real quick? Gravity's real. It ain't nobody fleeing an eye. They think I'm telling the truth. Gravity ain't real. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
She mentioned one movie, The Avatar, which is a great one that deals with avatars. What an avatar is, how we sync with the planet that we are manifested on, how the light body is the actual real us within the avatar that controls the
Right.
avatar. But it takes seasons before you can master controlling the avatar. And
Right.
some actually master the avatar so well that they have complete and total control over the avatar, and some never reach that level of mastery. But it's not for us to judge because, like you said earlier, we're only here for the experience,
Right.
you know. But one thing that was wiped clean when we were manifesting this realm was the remembrance. And so part of our mission, and this is part of all souls' mission, is to return back to the future.
Yeah.
When you return back to the future, then you remember, you put everything back together. And when you realize that there's no such thing as time unless you live under the curse, you understand that there's only a series of right nows. There's an
Right.
author named James A. Redfield. He wrote one of my favorite novels. It's called The Celestine Prophecy. And there's a whole
Yes.
chapter called The Longer Now. The
Yes.
sooner that you come to remember that there's only the longer now, you have control over your existence in all realms and places. You can contact your other selves at any given time through projection, through meditation and telekinesis, and you start to understand that there is nothing that exists that is not a part of you,
Right.
even your enemy.
Yep. Because even your enemy come with gifts, with lessons and
Word,
left and rights to go left or go right.
word. I
So
salute that. Now, anyway,
Hmm.
that's it.
The greatest power we have is peace, and I don't debate that love. So I know you said love earlier. I don't disagree with that, but I think that they're interconnected.
yeah, love is
Um,
peace. Love is peace
mhm,
to me.
exactly. So, you know, not participating in things in which you have Gus, our friend Gus, Aaron taught me this. Don't participate in situations where you can't win. And it might sound like being a quitter to some people or being afraid. It's not. If you can remember your life experiences, if you can go back to the future in your own minds and meditations and you don't see an outcome where you win. It's kind of like that Doctor Strange uh in the what was it called?
Yeah. He
The
couldn't win, so he made time keep repeating itself, so he would
made a
never have to
time
have an
loop, right?
outcome. Yeah.
That's what they did. They're telling you what they did. That's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They caused the priesthood of Horus to fall and created ours. And we began to be ruled by the clock, which is a calendar.
Right.
And so they tell us that there's 12 months, but there's actually only 10. December means 10. So why would we have July and August in the middle when June would go to September? Unless those 2 months, until those 2 months were added, that's all we had. So September was sept is seven. Septa deals with the number seven. October, 8. Noviembre, 9. Diciembre, or
10.
December, 10, right? So then they added an extra month from the old world, which we learn now through the sidereal zodiac, is what? Ophiuchus, the staff of Asclepius, the two serpents that meet at the top,
Hmm.
of the staff. Okay, and that month is the shortest month. But really, we had 10 months. They add two extra lunar cycles to throw off time. You look, that's why it's 2014 in Ethiopia and 2022 to us over here in the Western world.
Yeah. I do
You know,
notice that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they manipulated time, and that's not the only time that they did it. There's three, uh, not just specific, but there's three major times. They've done it more than three times, but there's three major times where they manipulated
That's what my
instances where they manipulated time. Excuse me, is what I'm trying to say.
You remember that Bible, the Ethiopian Bible I got, and I called the numbers and I talked to the priest over there, and he always
Hmm.
says, "You guys in Western time is delude. It's not real. Like you guys live in a paradigm of lies."
Think about the first place they say, where did Columbus land, right? And he landed,
Plymouth Rock.
well, no, Columbus.
No,
When
Columbus.
he
Okay, my bad.
landed in Hispaniola, right? Then
Hispaniola.
he came back again. His brother came back while he was incarcerated because he got imprisoned for the savagery that he exacted upon the Indians there.
He
So
did.
he did prison time.
Whoa.
His brother got sent over here in the meantime, and then his brother went back and had to do prison time for his atrocities, and then Columbus came back a second time. When he came back a second time, it was South America. Okay, now these are who the Bible believers call the sons and daughters of Issachar, the keepers of the times and the stars.
Right.
So you're talking about Olmec, Maya, Inca, Aztec, right? The
Yeah,
builders of the sun and moon temples. These were calendars, and there were certain things that had to be done during certain seasons in order for the universal order to maintain its balance here and the terra firma. So one of the first places that they targeted was that area to disrupt the energy and the frequency, because they called the ley lines of their holy places, which are places dedicated to the sun, they call them wakas, just like the rapper Waka Flocka Flame.
Mm-hmm.
They're called wakas. Wakas is how you kind of pronounce it. Wakas.
he
Those
know
are
what
the
he
ley
doing.
lines. Yeah, so they went and they subdued the ley lines. Once they
Mm.
subdue the ley lines, they have control over the area energetically, which will project into the spirit realm or ether realm, which
Mm.
eventually manifests in the natural, or what we call 3D realm.
Right.
And that's how they established their grid lines for their cellular prisons. Why they refer to, even why the language they use to describe the parts or elements within the body, like molecule. If I tell you what a molecule really is,
Hmm.
a
What is it?
molecule is an instrument that's used to basically destroy women and children in the ancient world.
Mm.
What?
Yeah, they built the Molech. The
We
god
both
Molech.
said, huh?
Yeah,
The
I know, man.
Molech.
This
The
language is
Molech
treacherous.
is a bull. They put the children and the women in the belly of this brass or copper bull.
They can
You
hear them
know, you know
screaming.
about that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. They can hear
And
the
their
screaming.
screams
It
would
make
make
it
it
go
sound like the
boom.
bull going.
Yeah,
It makes that
yeah.
sound from their screams. It translates the frequency of
Right.
pain into that charged
Ooh.
sound. That's a molecule.
Yeah.
So when you read the Bible now, go back in Genesis, it talks about that they sacrificed their children and turned them over unto Molech. That's
Yeah.
what they were telling
Remember
you.
that.
So
Damn.
who did this to their children? The same people you said earlier we can't talk about.
Right.
These are the those are the ancestors of the people who did that to their children. And then you got people in our community that want to claim that identity. And I say to hell with that.
Yeah,
To hell with that.
Like Mr. Bernstein.
Yeah,
Yo,
literally.
y'all,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
it's so much going on with these families. Because the heavy revelation, I got a family on this plane that is completely blank on the inside. And I made an oath with the creator over the prime world right now to bringing the children of the sun back to him. His own brother did this to his own children. I just want to vent this. For 6 years on my microphone, I've been saying I'm gonna rock the doors to the heavens. I'm gonna shake them mugs up. There's so much to see, so much imbalance, so many things that have to be renewed and straightened out. And this plays a part with the Bible in Revelations. I don't know what verse, where it speaks of a new sun will appear and a new heavens due to the imbalance and the deceit and the discord of the systems or the different star systems. Many of them ain't just this one.
Exactly.
This is part of one of the main core of why many of ETs who came back from the future into this machine is to fix the heavens in the solar system from this plane. Period. Period. This heavens and this entire solar system needs to be fixed. And we're here, as far as those who come back from the future. We are here, except for those who are here for the first time. That's 20 million in different
I'm
star
hearing
seeds.
some background voices. I don't know if you can do anything about it, whoever it is.
Let me check real quick.
Um,
Hold up.
if you can, that's all right. We
Let me turn
know
up.
we know we at home. So
The Let me tell it, the ultimate and greatest reasonings, purpose for being on this plane, especially us ETs who came back from the future, is to basically reconstruct, renew, rebuild the solar system in the heavenly kingdoms, if you will. Ain't no if. That is what we are here for. And that's the formula to fix, especially Atlantis. So we destroyed ourselves. So we come back to renew that. But not really as Atlantis, as New Earth. You see what I'm saying? Because if that word Atlantis is not known that it's an old matrix, then that would keep Starseed stuck too if they do not rise high enough to understand that that is actually an old matrix. So it's the rise of a new Atlantis, but it's really just simply New Earth. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely.
Um, hey, it's starting off brand new, clean, like brand new, fresh, brand new gods. Anybody gods in the past, Atlanteans, that shit is being wiped out. We starting fresh, brand new, fresh, fresh.
Right on.
It don't even
Right on.
matter. It don't even matter what niggas say they are in the solar system because you got to be eligible to reach that now. Brand new. It's like wiping us all out and starting all over. Control Alt Delete because the Akashic record is no longer. It's a new cycle, a new age, a new paradigm, and nothing can penetrate this
rainbow spirit around this new earth?
Hmm.
Nothing.
Nothing
Nothing.
at all.
Nothing. It's a love frequency. Period. Period. No dragons, none of that shit. All dragons got to come out of war in the dimensions.
What about another frequency?
What would that be?
It has to be created through music. What if you bring another frequency?
So you hit the nail on the head, and you hit the nail on the head. I'm gonna drive it. I'm gonna drive it in a little further.
Let's
You
do it.
brought up the book of Revelation, which is the apocalypto, which means simply the unveiling. Right. This is what this show is about, or this program. It's not a show. We ain't trying to entertain y'all.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you find us entertaining enough to stick around, but
Right.
that's not the sole purpose. But the revealing or unveiling of ultimate truth. It says that the Amen, or the Most High, as some people call it, the ultimate energy, the power, will put a new name in those who are His children, or their children. I'm gonna say their children. They'll put their new name in their forehead, and they would teach them a new song.
Mm-hmm.
That new song is a frequency.
Exactly.
There's got to be a new vibration, because every new beginning, every Genesis comes from a revelation. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's ending. It's the end of an old cycle. You enter into a new era, a new sound, a new vibration, a new form of power, a new form of energy. So yeah, yeah, I see it.
Look, I said, I said in a million Earth years after the reset, somebody gonna do something. And I said, I'm gonna get called again. Back. I said, somebody gonna do something. Somebody gonna. I already see it. I said a million Earth years. There was another aquatic being that said 1,000. Nah, that's too soon. Not at all. You're gonna get at least a million years out of the golden age. At least. At least.
So you touching on some.
Somebody gonna do something. All right, I come back from the future because what I saw, I don't keep it. Ain't what I saw. What I saw. Hey, baby. Excuse me, family. Excuse me, family. I need to talk to the baby girl. Excuse me,
No
y'all.
problem. I just wanted to say, she's touching on something that, Aaron, that I have understood. I'm gonna put it that way. I've understood this since I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
That people don't. There's people that don't believe in reincarnation in on any form, on any level, right?
Right.
Even though they'll learn the law of physics, or is it the law of thermodynamic energy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Energy never
energy
dies. It's
is neither
transferred.
created nor destroyed, but simply
Exactly.
transfers from one place to another.
Yes,
So
sir.
I've always, even before I learned that as a law, I've always understood. I believe, not know. I just understood that I came back. I was here. I left. I came back, and so then as I began to fully mature in certain ways, and not so much in certain others, I started to question, after this incarnation, how long do I have before I have to come back? Because I really don't like coming back,
Don't
even
want to
though
keep
there
coming back.
are there are attachments and things that I enjoy. I mean, desires, loves, lusts, whatever people want to call it, attachments, addictions. There's things that I absolutely love, and there's absolutely things that make me wish that I didn't exist in this plane at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And it's enough of that to where I'm like, if you don't really need me, please don't call my number for a
Right.
while.
Right.
Because I believe that this is one thing I believe. I'm gonna just say believe, because it's not based on anything that I've ever discerned factually through science or anything like that. But we get a rest. If you reach a certain level of your life's, your incarnative mission, and accomplish certain, you get benefits, or what's the word, perks,
Mm-hmm.
bonuses, right? You
Yeah.
might get, like she said, instead of 1,000, that's too soon. You might have that leeway to say to the whoever the council is.
Mm.
I don't want to come back that soon. Can you make it? And they can like
A
say, hey,
million years.
you talking about like 10 different types of eras of information technology, personality changes. Uh, you sure you want to do that? Yeah, I need a
Yeah.
rest. I need a rest. Like I was just saying, you touched on something that I've always understood since I was a child, that we leave and we come back, or we go away, we come back, and it might not even be what we call this world, but you're sent to another world. Come to find out, when you read the Hindu scriptures, they talk about certain individuals when they, if they either become an ascended master or they become a diva, which they get to be a god in a whole nother realm or on a whole nother planet or another
Mm-hmm.
star system. And oftentimes that place turns into a hell for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share.
Because,
Can I share
I know.
something,
yeah,
Jay?
go ahead.
One of my parents. Oh, never mind. I go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
No, as I said, my parents said until I was like 4 or 5, I used to ask them every day, "Is this real? I can't believe this is that real." And why am I here?
Wow.
They said they had to tell me to quit asking that because I used to ask it all the time.
Wow.
Like, why am I
Who
here? I can't
descended?
believe this is real. I do remember wondering, wow, this is really real. Like, I can feel, I can touch. That was amazing to me that I could feel and touch and smell and stuff. Like, it was. I would actually go out into my grandmother and grandfather. They planted a whole bunch of fruit bearing trees and berries and grapes and all that stuff. I used to go out and just like pick stuff and talk to trees, like, and I actually bought the land because of that. But I used to go out and just all the time I would disappear. They'd be like, "Where's you at?" I was back there just having fun. Like, I can't believe this is real. I mean, like, wow, like, this is real. Like, they used to look at me like, he's too little to even be wondering, is this real or not? You know what I mean? But by the time I got about 5 or 6, something happened where I stopped even questioning it. You know what I mean?
What I was going to speak on may never be a potential in existence, yet in a million after the reset, possibly potential, a million Earth years, somebody's going to do something which would spark another age of destruction. And I said,
Mm.
this time, I said, bring it, because we're going to be more evolved. There's a movie out, excuse me for not knowing the right title, but in the movie, there's this god named Set, some god named Horus, and they're fighting, and they flying.
Oh, gods of
When
Egypt.
Yeah,
when
guys, you can.
there's a potential, that movie is incredible. I only remember a couple of pieces because I don't understand the screen well, but I remember they was flying.
It was
Now,
white.
when we reset,
Yeah, that was
when we
banned in Egypt.
reset, we'll be in that state. When we reset, I said somebody gonna do something. I said bring it, cause then like now people dealing with psychic attacks, catching beings from the corner of their eye, can't really make it. When
Mm-hmm.
I said somebody gonna do something, it's gonna spark the age of destruction again. I said, but then it'll be fun because then we'll be able to see all of the unseen. You'll be able to see all of what's called evil beings. You'll be flying and swinging your swords that time. You know what I'm saying? So I said it was a potential. I said it never fails. Somebody gonna do something. And when the ages change, I caught on that like the golden age. Somebody does something where we begin to not function. Shit, I can speak of Egyptian, excuse me. Shit. Them motherfuckers had to write on the wall, they being decalcified. The fucking hit had came. Evil was over the earth, or darkness was over the earth. That's why that happened. They needed somebody to hold their motherfucking hand. Anyway,
They didn't want
I,
to forget.
right, bingo. And why would that happen to the gods?
They was
Ooh.
losing. They was losing. Like you said, being calcified. They was losing,
I was
losing their
like,
history.
y'all, this is me speaking from the flesh, okay? So it ain't accurate. I said, y'all gonna come here after you knew what Noah just did. That's why Noah did what he did, because we getting ready to come into destruction. Why y'all even come? But that's just the flesh talking. So I just wanted to bend that part. Like, why? Like, you know what it took for the nigga that had the, you're hard headed. They're hard headed. They still hard headed. Yeah, they are. Anyway, that's personal. Um, I noticed in my remembrance when the ages changed, like it was a time when some of the kings had a giant and would use the giant to mess up another part of civilization. I said right
David
there,
and Goliath.
that's when giants, it was like the last ones and the cycle was changing or the timeline was changing. And those few giants that was left that kings would use for defense, I said, okay, right there. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
understand that when when it's like that, and it's only a few giants, that's when a cycle is changing, or a timeline. If you excuse me, a timeline is changing. The dragons, same thing. Beings had access to just a few dragons that was left around, and that was the end of a timeline of dragons. So
Do
I
you
was
think
catching on
the
that.
Giants are returning?
No, I didn't say
They've
that.
been here.
No, I
Oh,
said, do
who
you
said that?
think the Giants are returning?
Yeah, I'm right here. What you saying?
No, do you think the Giants are returning?
They never
It,
left.
I'm about to say. I said. Why I said we right here.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if man,
Jay. Right.
if I
That's
could if I could
Jay.
share
Excuse me. Jay
if I
didn't. Excuse me, Jay. Is this isn't the Hollow Earth giants? Right. That's who froze our stuff.
they didn't freeze it, it was
Oh.
frozen because of them.
Oh. Okay. Receive.
Yeah.
I'm receive.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you dealing with folklore, but folklore is one man's folklore is another man's reality. So, I mean, when you talk about what's called Niflheim, and you look at what Bill Gates and the people that he's in bed with have been trying to do, it would cause what's called Niflheim, which is a frozen tundra, a form of hell. When you
Nephilim.
say angelic beings, to me, angelic beings are angelic beings. They're connected to the Hellenistic teachings of the so-called you know who say they are you know who, but are not,
Right.
but are the synagogues of what in Arabic is called Hasatan, in Hebrew is called Satan, um, which is plural. Just like when you're dealing with Savior, you're dealing with plural. Like Elohim is plural, the plurality of the Most High's majesty. So when you say Yahweh Elohim, you're dealing with the positive and negative forces of the Most High's personality, which is us. We are the extra terra astrals,
Right.
right? So anything else is just a perception. It's a matter of perception. The giants, we were told in Greek Hellenistic society that they were titans. These giants were titans and they were physical beings, right? And in some instances that did manifest, but mostly they were forces of nature that were being controlled by sorcery.
Wow.
So when you talk about kings controlling giants, look at how I want to say that way because I don't want to get taken down because they can try to say that it's misinformation because no one's ever really proven it, but we know when Sri Lanka had the tsunami and the freaking water came over 100-foot wall in the form of a hand. And those of us that
Mm-hmm.
saw that video and people say they don't believe in Poseidon, Poseidon's just a myth, blah, blah, blah. They don't believe in Memi
Mm.
Waters. That's some voodoo shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But we saw a hand in the form of aquatics go over a wall and pull humans and animals over that wall to drown in the ocean. I'm
You,
okay.
I gotta
So
see that video.
that is weapon. That is a weapon that was controlled by a corporation that is known
Heart,
as a government. Well, that's one of the
even
machines.
heart too.
Yeah, that's one of the machines. Jim Mars and his brother Tex Mars extensively wrote on Rule by Secrecy. You guys want to check out a good book from the '90s to catch you up to speed to now.
Yeah.
You done missed a lot. Behold a Pale
I'll
Horse
be
is a
right back.
good one too, but
All right.
that
Keep on
was
stepping
that
out.
was mainly written, I want to say, in the '70s or '80s. So when you got these former operatives writing about not just what they think they know or what they think they've seen, but what they were involved in. Um, Everything that we're discussing, you can apply a technical or technological application and see it manifest in current day reality. There's nothing new under the sun. And so, yeah, there's physical giants that's buried beneath the ground in cryo chambers or sleep chambers. There's ones that they've encountered and now are admitting that they've encountered in combat in Antarctica,
Mm,
in the North Pole,
mm,
in other remote places that are not easily accessible by human
mhm.
beings without advanced technology.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there
Mm.
are, and there were. That's why I say they never left.
Ouch.
In some instances, there were, but we're not talking about beings big enough to, how can I put this? Destroy an entire landmass by themselves. But
Okay.
if you unleashed their family or their tribe,
Mm, mm.
they could lay to waste quite a bit of real estate really quickly.
Oh. I like how you said that about the real estate, right?
Yeah,
Quite a bit, very quickly.
They'll make it to where you can't even build nothing back, almost, right?
Hmm.
indeed,
Wow.
That's the same
indeed,
thing they did when they sunk our cities.
indeed.
Huh?
They put it underwater so we couldn't build it back. Many cities in America that were black prominent cities were put underwater and now lakes.
Well, let's say indigenous.
Indigenous.
Cause see, they
Excuse me.
keep playing that game with us, and I'm not coming at you because
Oh no 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 no.
I know what you mean.
Hey,
I just want the
you king
audience
education. You
to
king
tune in.
education. So keep
The
correcting me till I get it right, my brother.
These are indigenous settlements, cities and villages and townships that were flooded. Like what's the one in Atlanta? I mean, not Atlanta. Excuse me. Forgive me,
Georgia.
Atlanta. In Georgia, yes. Lake.
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
seen a movie on that. I forgot the name of it too. But my
It's
spirit just led me to that like a week ago.
yeah, me too. It was so disturbing.
they
I
did it everywhere
know.
though.
I didn't even keep watching it
They
because Dad, I said
Yeah.
I'm too sleepy. I left it alone.
Yeah,
they
it,
did
it
it.
tore me up.
They did it everywhere.
Me
They,
too, brother.
and it's so. I'm gonna tell you something that ties into this that we should explore at some point in time if we can even conduct our own experiment
Mhm.
or survey.
You know I'm a scuba diver.
Okay, so the rumor, and I'm a what do you call it? A shark
And
level
I'm a
swimmer.
Okay.
mermaid.
I'm a
Okay.
shark level swimmer through the Red Cross, right?
Cool.
That's the
Yeah.
level. I could have been a lifeguard, but so I say that to say that it ties into what I was about to go into, which is the rumor has always been that we can't swim,
And
or
it's
is it that we know instinctively some ill ish went down in the place and we're not diving in that water because we don't want to swim with those tormented ancestors,
exactly. We don't
and
swim
so
in natural
we let
water and
right we
lakes.
let
You
Shit.
you you done
No.
started something,
Now
Jay.
we gonna let them go
you
ahead and
gotta
go
think.
swim
You gotta
with
Jay,
the
think.
you done
people that their
started
great
something, man.
granddaddy flooded and drowned. Go
Right.
ahead and swim with them and see how that turned out for you.
Right.
We'll stay on the shore when we go to that beach.
Yeah. They
Oh, you
say
done.
they say they say it's seaweed wrapped around your legs.
Right.
Yeah.
It was an
Right.
undertow. It was an undertow. It took them
Yeah.
into a cavern, an unknown cavern, and
Exactly.
My greatest trauma in the history of my existence in this plane for 17 million years as an aquatic being, as a mermaid, as a harpy, as an Atlantean. I speak of me being an Atlantean when we was inside the dimensions in the waters. Cause us on the surface in the middle of the water, we was inside the water as well. Anyway, my greatest trauma in my DNA is many of wars. I'm speaking of millions of years, or what man would say is million years of wars
mhm.
of us mermaids. I can remember so many dolphins that were snatched and killed by demonic forces. I myself was
Yeah.
trapped in a I don't know how to say the word properly.
Malevolent.
Thank you, Jay.
I got you. No,
What he said.
go ahead. I'm 11
I've
I
minutes.
like
been
what he said. What he said.
I've been trapped in a inorganic portal for 3 Earth years. I've released that trauma. The wars of us mermaids, the bloodshed of the demonic forces in the waters. The war is more extreme in the waters as we speak right now
Right. It's
than
more
what it would
water.
ever be on the surface or even in the supernatural on the surface. That's where it all began. The aquatic war is beyond what even the heavens can comprehend right now. My
I could.
dad, my dad left the body 3 years ago. Has blocked my vision. I can see inside the whole planet. My dad blocked me from seeing inside the waters 2 Earth years ago because of how extreme, and I need to evolve enough to even be able to comprehend. Because I have not evolved yet enough for my own aquatic family in the waters, it is not prohibited for me. Excuse me, it's not
Uh, Permitted.
Right.
permitted. Thank you.
Got you.
Right now, it's I still need to raise high in my brain capacity and my
Nah,
evolution.
you have so much racing. You have to almost hit pause between phrases, and you don't even know when the phrase is in because it's like a teleprompter, just constantly. You know what I'm saying? I get it. That's why I like talking with you because nothing stops. It's in constant motion. You can't set rigor mortis talking to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? She gonna take you fast and then resurrect you and keep it moving. And but what you were saying when we were talking, remember we were talking the other night. That's why my voice sounds like this today. Uh, we were talking, and I was sharing with you the story in comparison of when Legion in the Bible, the man
Yeah,
was,
many.
yeah, he was chained in the cemetery, and Yeshua and his disciples were walking through, and they weren't even paying him no mind. And
Yeah.
the demonic force cried out to him, saying, "Have mercy on us, O Son of David! Why must you tempt us before our time?" And
Right.
he said, "What is your name, demon?" And he said, "Our name is
Yeah.
Legion, for we
Legion.
are many." And as he went through, they said, "Well, if you're going to cast us out," they said, "please give us a body, give us
Put
something to
us in the
go
pigs.
into." So he cast them into a herd of swine, and they drove the swine off the edge of a cliff into the sea and drowned themselves. And so it just shows you that you have to assign those forces to something that can hold them, right? And you just was talking about the aquatic nature of these demonic forces that were even attacking dolphins, which are the closest fish to humans. Okay,
Shark too.
yeah,
Sharks, whales,
well,
all a
right.
part of it.
All the yeah, all the predators in the ocean and the higher intelligent beings, and that makes perfect sense. That they would correlate that scripture or that text
Yeah.
that they had to drive themselves into the ocean so they could be freed, because otherwise they would be powerless. They would have no existence on the terra firma. Where's an energy that's made of breath going
Right.
to go in the regular firmament? They had to go into the first firmament, which is the water,
Right.
in order to
Yo,
sustain
and
the
that's how we gonna reset to save ourselves.
It's
We're
something.
going into the waters to get out of here. It's the only way to save us.
Now,
Aaron.
now listen. Now
Aaron,
listen.
what did we talk
This
about?
is crazy, man.
George Clinton. Go
Yeah.
ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Aqua boogie. Aqua boogie. But
We
it's
can't go
funny.
up.
It's
We
fun.
can't go up because
Gotta
this
go.
shit turned upside down any motherfucking way.
Yeah.
So it was no up.
Exactly. You gotta go into the water. Aqua boogie. But like, it's funny. I told you I was a baby. I was swimming at 3 months. 3 times a week now. I go to the biggest indoor pool in the world, which is the natatorium over there. You know, the Olympic team practice there because it's the longest stretch indoor pool in the world. I go there and do the whole thing underwater. That's how I do my lap swim. I swim underwater and do controlled breathing. And I remember the one lady, she was like, I don't see very many people do that. You do that all the time, and you're not even breathing hard when you get up. And I said, yeah, because I used to have gills, like just laughing, playing with her. But we know that once we meditate and learn to meditate underwater, we know the first thing we do when we come up is breathe out because the carbon monoxide is poisonous. We're not starving for air. And that's the thing, like Muhammad Ali, when he used to practice underneath the water and come up with controlled breathing, he was practicing breathing underwater.
Indeed.
So, I definitely get it. And
So,
naturally, we do these things.
so to share with the audience what Jesus was saying and what Aaron was going into, uh, he and I had a conversation. I think I shared this conversation with you, Jesus, in reference to Aaron. So y'all are finally meeting in the flesh now. But the song George Clinton wrote years ago, and I don't think he was the only writer. So no disrespect to any other collaborators on this particular joint. It's one of my favorites. But
Yeah.
Motor Booty Affair,
Yeah.
he called it Aqua Boogie. The nickname was Aqua Boogie. He said, never learned to swim, can't catch the rhythm of the stroke. Why should I
Right.
hold my breath, fearing that I might choke? Well, you can dance underwater and not get wet.
Get prep.
And he said, Psycho, Alpha, Beta, Disco, Bio, Aqua, Dulu, motion pictures underwater, starring most of you, Luke. So he was telling us about the time loops. He was telling us how we had to escape, and the mothership connection was not meant to go up; it was meant to go into the waters, the celestial waters.
Right.
We don't think of the waters as celestial; we think of them as just aquatic. But those aquatics have a celestial, a very celestial and divine nature. Water is always at the center, almost of every spiritual or religious system, as a
Right.
purifier.
I use steam. I got a steam room right there.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. So,
Excuse me, family, the baby. Excuse me,
all
brothers.
good. We're gonna wrap it up at this point, and
All right, brother.
I
Okay.
want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all for a great program today. Thank you for showing up. T, I know you was trying to get on. We'll figure it out what happened with your microphone because
Oh,
it's saying
Karen.
that I should be able to add him, but I couldn't add him because it was saying on my side his microphone needed to come be turned on somehow. So we'll get it figured out for the next episode, the next get
Thank you.
together.
I'm glad I
Uh,
caught you all because I was like, oh no, it's so past 6 o'clock. Like, oh wow.
But I'm going to be signing
You're
off
welcome.
here. I want to thank you all. I'm
Thank
Brother
you.
Dave Cruz. We
Thank
got
you.
Brother Aaron. If you got anything to say, Mr. Aaron, Brother Aaron.
Hey man, let's just expand on the knowledge. I think this whole show is just to catch some people up to speed. You know what I mean, and just really make a common conversation out of unusual conversation. You feel me?
That's a perfectly said. I love it.
The unusual,
Thank you.
usual.
Thank
Dang, I
you,
haven't heard
Sister
that song
Jesus.
in years.
Thank you, special guest, Sister Jesus.
Thank you.
Anything you
Thank
want to
you.
say, anything you want to promote, either of you, what I'm saying that you got coming up. I know you said you got a lecture getting
I
ready
would
to
love a
happen.
picture of your wall. I love you. Send me some screenshots of your wall. I
Thank
see
you.
the I see the baru. I see the chakras. I see the
Where you see? Oh,
the
oh,
tree
it's
the tree of
okay,
life.
okay.
Tree of
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
I see all that. Darth and all
yeah.
that. I see what you're doing. I just want to learn. Just take pictures so
Yes,
I can
yes.
meditate on your drawings
Okay,
or your schematics. I know it's
I
not a
can,
drawing.
I can send them to Jay until I know how to. If you on Facebook, are you on Facebook?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a friend of mine on Facebook.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, okay, okay. Oh, look, I'm just signing Jay up for some. Excuse me, brother. I'm out of order. Excuse me. If it's okay with Jay, if I could pass the pictures in the future to
Oh yeah,
you. Okay, thank you. Excuse
absolutely.
me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's good people, and he knows. I don't have no funniness about it. If I brought y'all together, it is meant to happen.
I can hear his voice. He from home. We home. We aquatic. We fish. I always say that we fish, man. What I will say is honor to our DNA, honor to the smart body, to the innate, honor to the heart that beats every day, honor to the cells, to our plasma,
Indeed.
to your mind, to your spine, honor to all of the embodiments that sustain us, the best to us all, peace of mind, even in our
Mm,
wrath, to us, gentleness to our minds,
as we continue to evolve and continue to master human emotions for those of us that need to continue mastering human emotions as we resurrect coming into the new golden age. The best to us all, the best to us, the destiny and desires of our heart fulfilled, full blown, as we come into a completion to end this age and reset for new earth. That's all. One love, y'all. Eternal love.
I say, oh, amen, and all of that, all affirmative. Do you want to promote anything, Sister Jesus? Anything you want to?
No, no,
No.
no,
All
no.
right. Well, we
Thank
thank you
you.
again, and we will have you back as soon as you
Thank you.
want to come back on. Just let me know. Let him know.
Oh, when y'all
You
be on?
know, more than
Y'all.
likely, we're gonna try to do the same day every week. And
Oh, okay, okay,
Yep.
okay.
I
Cool,
can get it.
cool,
yeah, okay,
Yep.
cool. All right.
indeed,
Much love and thank you again.
All
indeed.
right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're very welcome, and thank you to the audience, to those of you all who checking us out today. I'm Brother Jay Drews. This is Brother Aaron Sims. That is Miss Jesus Powell, and this is the Piercing the Veil podcast. Signing off. Y'all have a great rest of the week.
Peace.
Peace.